Hey guys, Darren Addison, torpedopot.com. Darren Addison, torpedopot.com. Hey guys, I want to show you a great way of germinating your tomato seeds. See, we don't have to buy germination tanks, and yet our plants grow this big. I mean, we'll harvest well over 1,000 tomatoes, and we have corn, maybe 50 heads of corn, and zucchini. We've already harvested 50 cucumbers. But all we do with these torpedo pots is that you take your seeds, you throw them in there. Then after you throw them in, then you take those plants and move them any place else that you want. And you'll end up with a garden like you've never seen before. Look how healthy those are. So what we're gonna do today is that we're gonna come out and show you, we've already thrown our seeds in. A lot of you are having problems going to the store, buying tomatoes. No, we take 100 seeds, throw it in one container. We come out and pull from those containers, and we use them wherever you want. Give them to your neighbors, your friends. All right, so I want Miss Addison to come out and show you how easy it is to pick from these torpedo pots. And so probably this right here. That's what I'm thinking about. What are your thoughts? Now, any questions before you start?
How young are these?
Those seedlings I say were maybe about 3-4 weeks old right now.
Oh, they're pretty tall.
Actually, I let them grow that tall because I didn't have time to remove them. See, in a torpedo pot, you can spend time doing other things and come back to your garden. And see how fresh and clean they are?
Yeah.
I mean, you don't see any defects or anything wrong with these tomatoes. As a matter of fact, most of them look like they're starting to really to mature. Now, these are hundreds of these things, right? All these torpedo pots.
Yeah.
Do they look good to you? Do they look healthy?
Look very healthy.
Very healthy, right? Isn't that amazing? Wow. Look at that. So you get to choose whatever. Oh my God, it smells so good, guys. Choose whatever you want. So Sarah, any more questions you have about pulling them out, or you feel comfortable? Now,
do I pull one at a time?
you know what? See how these are clustered together?
They're strong.
They certainly are. Now, do you want those?
Yeah, I'll take these.
Okay. So what I would do is just grab the cluster that is together. All of these are would you like all of these? And then including this one right here. So first, look at the cluster. Let's take a look at the cluster. Put your hand around the other side. Oh, there you go.
It seems like this whole thing is a cluster.
It seems like the whole thing is a cluster. Now, just lightly pull it out. I think the ones behind it are a cluster too. Yeah, those two. Yeah, pull them all out.
Oh,
I know.
wow.
Slowly, you're doing good. Rock it on out of there. Rock it on out of there. Remember now, we got hundreds of these in here, okay? Rock them on out of there. Pull up a little bit more.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
Look at that. Wow, isn't that amazing?
Look at
that. Let me see the bottom of that.
Look at that.
Wow, that's amazing.
All these little tendrils are going to be like tomatoes.
Wow.
Lots of
Look
them.
at that. Whoa.
Now,
do you need more than that? Or?
Each stem will probably yield as many as 10, 20 tomatoes.
Yeah, we're looking at a minimum. Well, these are, I think, are the large tomatoes.
Okay.
And so, even though we're using torpedo pot, we see they're healthy and they're strong. Each variety grows differently.
Okay.
I'm not familiar with this variety. I know it's supposed to be prolific.
Okay.
I just don't know, because we're putting it under maximum conditions. And so when they advertise maximum conditions. But most people can't achieve that because they don't have the soil type. They don't have the arrangement to grow the food they want to grow. And therefore you can grow 10 to 20 heads of corn in just 24 inches. Torpedo pot allows you to do that. Grow food like you've never seen before. Dude, it's amazing.
I need one more bunch like this.
Do you really? Okay.
Should I put it from a
Now,
different
are you
pot?
sure you're going to use all of those?
Yeah. I have other torpedo pots in the front, so I want to transplant them and move them over there.
Okay. Now, the thing about it, I can leave. You don't have to pull them out of the torpedo pot right now. Because when you're ready.
I want to, right? I want to.
Only if you're going to put them directly in the ground.
Yeah.
If you're not.
Young.
Huh?
They're young.
No, it's not so much the young. Is that once you cut off the the water from moving through the root system from the plants, it starts to collapse.
Yes. So I'm going to put them in.
Okay. All right. Now, how you separate them? Could you just separate a couple of them right now? Just take your time and shake it.
Yeah, these two look like they're like sister clusters.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
Right there.
Try one plant at a time because they may be, it might be a little bit easier.
I'm going to plant them together.
Oh, really? But you shouldn't. They're too closely. You got to separate them. Wow, look at it. Just slid right on out of there. I literally saw the roots. Wow. But see, if you do it in bunches.
This could be 4 clusters. Yeah, this could be 4.
Yeah, the only thing about it, if you do it in bunches, they'll zap all the nutrition out of that one area.
You know what? You're right. I did that before.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah, and it's because the tomatoes need a lot of these tentacles.
Yes.
To grow like even one tomato.
Okay.
is the more room that they have, the better they propagate.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. So what I did, I cleaned this plant out. I just pulled some out of this one. And as you can see,
Oh yeah, look at that.
I left that inside of there. There's a lot of tomatoes.
There'll be a lot.
But it's so good is that I'll be able to cut that back when I need to.
Yep.
I don't necessarily have to. I would
They
just
like
cut it back
a
when I need
lot
to.
of room.
Yeah, do they really?
Yeah.
And what about the environment? I know you were telling me about environment for tomatoes. They like a...
Yeah, they're like a clay, like sticky, thick, heavy soil.
Okay.
They like that because the more tentacles that grow, the better your tomato yield will be.
Oh, really?
So they have tentacles and they just reach. They go all over.
Okay.
So the more area that they have to go, the better they get a footing.
Okay.
Because they do use a lot of water. Tomato plants, you have to water a lot.
Wow.
You really got to have that time setting on a high frequency.
Okay.
Because the tomatoes are mostly water. So that's how they grow, from a lot of water being in their root system.
Well, since what you trained us, let me ask you a question. Do you need to have more then? Because once you split those up, you got about 20 plants in your hand right there, right?
Yeah, true.
I don't know. I mean, I just don't want you, this will always be here for you.
Yeah.
But I just don't want you to
Okay, I have to start with here.
Okay.
Because they're like I was saying, they need a lot of room anyway.
Okay. But you take as many as you want. I'm going to start propagating these all over the place. Hey, listen, thank you so much. Any tips you want to leave with people who are doing vegetable gardening?
The only thing I'll say is that with this heat, just make sure, if you can, keep an eye on them to make sure that they're fully hydrated, and if they're in full sun, that the sun hasn't tried to dry, because the torpedo pot is watering here, but you don't want the sun to burn them if it's at all possible. That's all.
Yeah,
Just
you're
keep
right.
an eye on them.
You're so right.
The sun will scorch them.
Wow. And you're right, and that's why we have the timer-based system. You put your timer, you put your settings on.
Put settings on.
You never water, right? You don't have to water anything, do you?
Yep. Nope.
And you supplement once a week at the most.
And the torpedo pot mechanism is set up so that it's watering where it needs to be watered, which is here. The root system. You want a solid root system. So as long as your torpedo pot is set up properly and is watering the plants, you have no problem. You just don't want it to burn up here.
Right. And I tell you, you're right, Sharon. It's a good point. And I think when I look at this and I look how nutritious these plants look, how healthy they look with no fungal, you don't have any bite marks, you don't have anything on these things. It's
think
amazing.
about with the tomato plants how strong these
the limbs are?
The limbs
the
are.
trunk,
they get so strong they're like soft trees because they have to hold up the heavy tomatoes.
Right.
These get really thick and really strong.
Okay.
Really strong. So,
Wow.
That means you're going to have some good tomatoes.
All right. I want to thank you for your time, Miss Addison, and we'll close it out. Thank you so much.
Right. Happy July 5th.